I like it when people are like they describe something as unimaginable because I'm like, I can imagine that. That's easy.
I cannot imagine anything past the number 10.
Just can't even think about it.
I can't even think about it.
Oh.
And I can only think of numbers.
Oh. Well, that's an accountant for you.
I'm counting my friends.
Yeah. John Lennon be like, imagine all the people, and I'm like, buddy, I can think of all. I can think of all the people and then a few more. My imagination's just better than yours.
I can only think of, yeah, I got nothing. I can't think. Can't
I
imagine.
can't think of anything. See, that's the difference between you and I. We're not so different.
So different, you and
You and
I.
I. All right, welcome to the podcast, everybody. This is the Adventure Twins podcast, a podcast where two twins talk about one of our favorite shows, Adventure Time. My name's Jacob.
I'm John.
And in today's episode, we are going to talk about Season 1, Episode 23, Rainy Day Daydream. This episode was released on September 6, 2010, written by Pendleton Ward, creator of the show. In this episode, Finn and Jake spend the day inside and face off against Jake's imagination. What are your thoughts?
You know, it's funny, when we were talking about doing this podcast, this is one of the episodes I would think back to frequently. I'm like, oh, that would be a fun one to talk about. So I'm really glad we finally got to it.
Yeah, I want to say... Yeah.
I would say this is like just a quintessential Adventure Time episode.
Yeah, I think this was one that like you sent a clip from this episode to me on just like Instagram, and it was one of those things where it's like it was kind of like there's no like joke in here. I just saw this clip and it kind of makes me a little nostalgic. And we'd been talking about doing this podcast for a while, but that was kind of the one where it's like I also kind of think back to the show and I kind of want to rewatch it. And so it very much was, this episode was kind of one of the ones that like kind of was like, oh, maybe we should go and just like finally watch this one. I think this is, I think we've said this already about other episodes, but this is the one that I think sets it apart from other cartoons at the time and other shows that were released at this time. This one was just a different kind of, not to be too on the nose, but it's just so much more imaginative than other things of its kind at the time.
Right. I think even within the show, it's pretty significant. I think it's the first time it's fully inside their treehouse. I know we've seen the inside, but this one's fully inside. And I think it's one of the first of many bottle episodes. I don't want to come out and say it's a bottle episode because there are other characters. Mm-hmm. Would you mind explaining what a bottle episode is for those who don't know?
Yeah, so a bottle episode is basically one where it's usually just like two characters kind of just in a room by themselves. It's like one setting. They don't really leave. Good examples. There's an episode of Family Guy where Brian and Stewie go to the bank and get locked in the safe. I think that episode is just called Brian and Stewie, and it's just the two of them. There's no cutaway gags. It's just them and their conversation. There's an episode of... Yeah,
Drake and Josh has a couple. I can think of... There's the one where they're stuck in the treehouse together.
The treehouse is a good example.
One where they're stuck in a bathroom together.
Yeah, or like Breaking Bad for a more like non-comedy version. I can't remember the name of the episode, but I think it's about like it's called like Fly Trap or something like that. The whole episode is just Walter White and Jesse, they get locked inside their lab and just kind of, it's just purely conversation driven. There's not really a ton of action, but it's kind of, they're done as a kind of a cheap episode, like from production, perspective. Like they're only in one set, so like you don't have to do a lot of locations. You can knock out a lot of it because they're in one spot the whole time. So like there's a lot of reasons. There's a practical reason to bottle episodes, but like the other reason is it's they're usually kind of used more of like as a character study compared to more like plot driven
Yeah.
episodes.
I think it's also it's almost a test of character, like you said, character study. It's a test. Can these two characters survive on just their personalities and how the characters are written? Thinking
Yeah.
to the Family Guy episode, I want to say Seth MacFarlane actually did it specifically. Can this show survive, and can it be just Brian and Stewie doing a whole episode together without relying on cutaway gags to keep the funniness there and to keep the comedy there? And I think Adventure Time, Jake and Finn are written so well. The two of them can stand alone, just the two of them, for 11 minutes. It's not saying much, but 11 minutes alone, they can do it.
Yeah, and like I think we'll talk about this a bit, but everything that really happens in the episode comes from Jake's imagination, but you don't get to see any of it because it's all his imagination, so everything's invisible. So from a like cost perspective, the animation is certainly cheaper when they don't have to actually show anything. You just have to animate the two leads in a setting that's already been established of their treehouse.
Yeah. So I think just interesting episode overall. I'm glad we got to it. We're already like 6 minutes in pretty much, and we haven't even talked about what the episode's about. But yeah, I was looking forward to this one. This is a very fun, I would say iconic, and I think unique, dare I say imaginative episode, to steal your word.
Yeah. So this one, it's kind of starts off at this point almost like building up that we know how every episode starts with. They're just kind of doing whatever. Finn literally has a to-do list of cool stuff he wants to get done that he's like written over on his arm that includes backflipping off of the bridge and doing a splits.
I do that every day.
Yeah, it's how I start my day. And then I think, did you write down the other task? It was...
No, I didn't get a good look at them. I was like furiously typing at this point to try and keep up.
This one it starts pretty fast. It was something about like going and defeating a goblin king or something, and it's like, they were just kind of like doing whatever tasks they felt like doing.
And I like how he had all of the ideas scrawled on his arm. I wrote down, it made me think of Dr. Aphra. He's got the Dr. Aphra tattoos.
Yeah. that's cool.
I've been reading a lot of those. I'm on issue 40 of the first series, so I'm almost done.
Oh, yeah. I've read all those. Those are pretty good.
They're very good. I'm loving it.
Yeah, I met one of Aphra's creators at a con I just went to.
I'm jealous.
Yeah, you got her Antos.
Got her to sign Darth Vader 3, right?
I sure did. Yeah, first appearance of Dr. Aphra. That was, I think, the most expensive comic I brought to that convention. On account of, cheap one. Yeah, but she's one of the like assistant editors of like the like Star Wars line of comics, or was. I don't know if she currently is still, but she was when Aphra came out. So she's credited as being a co-creator. Yeah.
Anyways,
we should probably get to this episode.
So they've got a big plan of stuff to do, and suddenly it starts raining knives. Full on like daggers falling out of the sky, which I think is beautiful personally.
The Dagger Storm. I made a note. Isn't Dagger Storm the name of a video game within The Simpsons?
I don't remember.
It's in the Simpsons game, I think. Right? Where it's like the plot of that game is Bart and all the kids are going crazy about this new video game that everybody wants. I want to say the game is called Dagger Storm.
That's good memory. I don't remember the game within that game. I remember the Simpsons game. I don't remember.
And then they're given like a heavenly copy of the Simpsons game, which is a game about them. And it
I think the game is called Earth. Wasn't it?
No. Oh, that's something
else.
else.
No, yeah, the Simpsons game was I think a mini game within Earth, which is a game that
Yeah, because they end up going to heaven at the end of that game. That game has a pretty crazy like metatextual kind of plot there.
It's a decent game too. It kind of
it's a nice, it is a fun game. A knife storm comes and they get stuck inside, all of their plans get canceled, and they kind of sit back and it's like, all right, well, what do we want to do then? Like, we're stuck inside today.
Yeah.
Which is like, this show that is really like every week is a different adventure kind of stuff. To kind of just be like, we're just going to chill. We're just in the house today. And they still, I think it's just a really fun setup.
Speaking on the knife storm, I've seen videos online of like Adventure Time ambiance or core videos, and it's like the peaceful sereneness. And one of them was like calm music, with the knife storm, like just knives falling in the background. And I thought that was, that's why I was like, it's peaceful. I'm thinking that to that
Yeah,
edit I saw.
like a knife storm ASMR.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So they go inside, and I want to say BMO was the first one to say, let's do something. Because they're like, what do we want to do inside? And BMO is like, who wants to play video games?
Yeah, because we heard BMO speak a couple episodes, I think for the first time, in the Donnie episode, always going back to Donnie. But this is the first we realized that, like, I think, well, that they kind of more direct attention on BMO as, like, BMO's a talking game console.
Yeah.
They never really explain BMO until you start getting into the lore backstory episodes, but, like, yeah, we get BMO.
Yeah.
So brings up, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say BMO, I guess, can create their own video games, and was hyping up this new game called Conversation Parade, which is... I don't want to sing it. I'll get the giggles.
Conversation Parade. This was one of my favorite bits, and whenever like I'm doing something and Bennett is like bored, and sometimes I'm just like, yeah, you want to play Conversation Parade? And Bennett hasn't seen this episode yet still. And I'm just like,
wow.
What do you think about the stars in the sky? It's okay. Yeah, they're all right. That is an interesting response. And then BMO shuts down.
Battery low, BMO shutting down.
BMO shutting down. I think Conversation Parade is a fantastic game design.
It is. You can play for hours. That's all a podcast is.
Conversation Parade. Isn't there... Yeah,
yes.
I was gonna say, there is an Adventure Time podcast called a Conversation Parade.
Yes, and yeah, when we were looking at podcast name ideas, I remember obviously we both thought Adventure Twins. And we decided that's what it has to be. But we were looking at some other ones, and we came across Conversation Parade, which is objectively the best name of an Adventure Time podcast out there.
100%.
You win. That's the best name. We cannot compete.
If you're listening, Conversation Parade people, you guys have the best name for an Adventure Time podcast. There isn't a better name. So you guys win. Congrats.
I had some people at work say they liked our logo. I mean, the logo's good.
Yeah,
they said it was very cool, and I said, thanks, my friend Jet did it. He's a graphic designer.
Yeah, so we got some help on the logo. That was based on a doodle I did on a sticky note at my job.
Yeah.
I like, after they finished Conversation Parade, Jake is just like, we could use our imagination. That's how we'll have fun. And it turns out Finn really hates being imaginative, and he thinks it's lame because of how kick butt reality is.
That's funny. Yeah, for a kid's show, you have the kid who's like, I love reality.
Yeah, I noted about how ironic Finn hating imagination is, because he has shown himself to be nothing but imaginative.
Mm-hmm.
I think especially in his sort of like creative problem solving, like he's an imaginative guy in like one of the most imaginative TV shows. So for him to be like, I hate imagining, is like hilarious.
For a complete fantasy show, and for him always being creative and having this positive attitude, you would think he would like imagining situations, but no, not at all. Maybe it's just for this episode. Maybe if we went back and watched earlier episodes, we could be like, oh yeah, they just did it for this one. But I do like, for a kid show, they're getting the power of imagination, how to have fun is like the overall theme here. Is that even on a rainy day, you can stay inside and have fun just with your thoughts.
What did we do when it was rainy and we were bored at home?
We'd play video games, mostly Conversation Parade.
We did play a lot of video games. A lot of Conversation Parade. Yeah, we were really good at that one.
As far as like imaginative things, and I actually wrote this as a question too. We'd have like fake relay races that we set up for ourselves. If you remember, we'd have like, we'd have to climb up the bunk bed and like climb down, and we'd have to like jump over things, and our enemies were just some random enemies. But then I think we talked about this in the one episode. Didn't we talk about this in Business Time?
We might have.
Or maybe that was the first cut. One of the episodes we had to talk
Oh,
about.
we had to re-record an episode.
But
yeah.
so we would always have imaginative races. We would do we do army guys. We get out all of our army guys and all of whatever random ass toys we had. We'd have
we
giant
just do
fights
these
across our whole
huge
bedroom.
wars. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. We definitely did use our imaginations.
Oh yeah.
I didn't lie. I was just using my imagination. That's Josh
Book of Mormon.
Gad, the Book of Mormon. Yeah. Yeah.
We would.
Josh Gad,
I mean,
if
we
you're listening.
shout out, best name objectively. I was at a training and I was like, were you guys in that one room with that, over this training? They're like, I don't know. Maybe I was, it's the one that had that Josh Gad looking guy. And someone's like, calling someone a Josh Gad looking guy is diabolical.
It's kind of an insult.
A little bit. Josh Gad.
Josh
No,
Gad.
I mean, he's a nice guy, but like immediately someone's like, yeah, I know who you're talking about.
I met Harvey Guillen, who's Guillermo in
I'm
What We Do in
jealous.
the Shadows. He kind of has a Josh Gad vibe to him, a little gay.
He does have a Josh Gad vibe. But like gay and
Yeah.
Hispanic.
Yeah, a little bit
Yeah.
more gay and definitely more Hispanic. Super nice guy.
I'm sure he is.
Yeah, he was very dressed up for a Comic-Con.
I'm sure he was. He seems like he would
super
be.
friendly.
He
Super
seems like
friendly.
he would be. God, I would love to meet him. I love Gizmo.
Yeah, Gizmo. God, we need to talk about this episode.
But no, yeah, we used our imagination, and one of the things we did, we would play Floor is Lava every now and then,
Oh,
which is
yeah.
what Jake starts with. And Finn's like refusing to get into it. He puts his foot down, and it turns out the floor actually is lava. Jake's
Well, I
imagination.
think that's funny. He like literally puts his foot down. He's like, I'm not having this.
I didn't even
Like,
think about that.
Literally puts his foot down. Yeah. And his foot catches on fire because everything Jake imagines turns out to be real, although invisible, and only Jake can see it.
Yeah. So it makes you think: is Finn just really getting into it finally, or did any of this actually happen? Because it looks like Finn actually gets beat up and has like snake bites by the end of the episode. But
Yeah. I mean, Jake having such a powerful imagination that things become real. I don't know. But like, I like to think that they're just both really into it.
yeah,
I was just
like you as
reading.
well.
It was a Stephen King book. I was like, why does this sound so familiar and so recent? It's a book I just finished, but it's about like a kid who's been like possessed by like a demon or something. But everything this kid like pictures, he can like warp the reality around him. So he like turns his like suburban hometown into a Western set because he's really into this Western movie he keeps watching on TV.
Like WandaVision.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of the exact same concept, except Stephen King did this like
Yeah.
25 years earlier.
No, there's nothing original out there anymore.
Yeah. I don't know. The
Stephen
whole
King
idea.
probably did it first.
Yeah. I doubt even he did it first. The idea of like I can imagine it so it's real.
Yeah, it's not.
There's an episode of Star Trek about that, right?
I don't remember, but that sounds familiar.
Yeah, they land on a planet and like anything they picture ends up showing up, but it turns out there's like these brain scanners all across the planet.
Yeah, I remember that one actually.
And even then, there's Forbidden Planet, which came out before Star Trek, and those are the monsters from the id, where their own subconscious creates the monsters. If you haven't seen Fantastic Planet, highly recommend it. It has
Forbidden
Leslie
Planet?
Nielsen before he went and did comedy.
Yeah, Forbidden Planet.
Forbidden Planet. Did I say Fantastic Planet?
Yeah, Fantastic Planet, Mr. Fox.
Yeah. Wait, what's Fantastic Planet?
No, I don't know.
That's something else.
Okay.
Forbidden Planet. Yeah, highly recommend that one. If you like
I've
Star
seen
Trek, the
Rocky.
original series, it's like that, but it predates it.
Yeah. I do like the idea that whatever Jake pictures becomes real. And maybe question, if you could imagine anything and it became real, what would you imagine?
I think the issue would be trying to keep myself from imagining things.
Yeah.
It's like Jake at the end of the episode where he's like, I can imagine everything, and he can't help but picture his own mom naked.
Sure.
I mean, I'll sit at work
So
sometimes.
you'd picture
and I'm
mom
just like,
naked?
No, that's not what I would picture. I'd
No.
try not to. No, I didn't see that. Um, no, it's like I'll be sitting at work and I'm just like, huh, what would I do if a car just like came crashing through this window?
Yeah.
And that's the kind of stuff I'd have to not imagine.
I would
imagine
imagine
just a real nice, can of soda pop.
I would imagine
Just a
world
Diet
peace.
Coke.
So
Oh fuck, man.
yeah, maybe
Well,
not as
some
good
would
as
argue
me.
a nice can of soda pop could lead to world peace.
I've heard Pepsi can do that. They had a commercial.
Pepsi can cure the world of racism.
and police brutality.
Yep. Well, one and the same.
True. I like what Jake said he would imagine is like girls,
Like
cute girls,
cute girls,
and hamsters.
Yeah. So basically, like, the setup is like everything everything Jake imagines becomes real. And so Finn is just like, well, can you just like turn it off? And he goes, no, I can't do that. But I can picture like this big imagination turning off machine, but it's not here. It's upstairs. We have to go over to it. And so a lot of this plot revolves around Jake's imagination not being that good. And instead of just picturing a way out, he goes, I can only picture these other things. And there's all these parameters around it.
I don't remember much of the order this episode goes in. I just remember a lot of the iconic little bits for it.
Yeah.
So
like he imagined
really.
I was going to say Jake imagining a fake wall. They go to get like a cosmic gauntlet.
Yes.
And they're like, well, no, go grab that one over there. That one's better. And then Finn
no,
walks
there's a
into
better one
wall.
by the desk.
And Finn walks into an invisible wall he can't see. And it was like, no, that's okay. You can just like walk around it. I'm like, why would he imagine a wall that an invisible wall? And then Finn is the same way we're like, he's like, really, that's it? There's not like some like big goblin monster I have to fight? And Jake is like, well, now there is, because now I'm imagining it.
Yeah, he's thinking about it. It's kind of like if you say don't think about an elephant, you're thinking about an elephant.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, so there's a troll, an invisible troll that Finn has to fight, or that he can't see, but Jake can clearly see. So Finn does beat up the imagination troll, but then starts, oh no, you're uppercutting his family. So Jake's just like making it way worse for Finn, who just doesn't even know what he's doing.
Some of this is like, is Jake thinking about this, or is this his brain just kind of going wherever it feels like? Or is he like imagining this just for the bit? I don't know.
It's like unfiltered imagination, just saying whatever comes to your mind. Zip zap zop, am I right?
Zip zap zop. I thought of this episode in comparison to the Community D&D episodes. You can't find them you can't find them on streaming services, but if you like imagined like a pirate ship or something, you might be able to find these episodes. Ahoy.
Sure.
But those ones, it's just like the group playing D&D, and you don't see any of the stuff they're talking about, but they do a really good use of like sound design and kind of creating this audio sort of landscape. And so it kind of puts you in the scene that it's just all kind of conversation around a table. But it creates an audio scape that does a really good job of like immersing you into this. And I think this episode does a good job of that, of like, they don't just say, oh, there's like, a troll you have to fight. You like hear a troll and you hear the fist punching and like the swords and stuff like that. And so it kind of does a good job of like, a lot of the episode relies on the viewer's imagination because you only see Finn and Jake. Everything's invisible. So I think that does a good job. Yeah.
Nice.
You haven't seen Community, right?
I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm kidding. Yes,
Okay.
I know Community.
I was like, you haven't seen it though, right?
I've seen one episode.
Oh, okay. Cool. Well, for
It's
all of you
the
listeners
darkest
out there-
timeline one.
Oh yeah, well that's like the best episode. Remedial Chaos Theory. That one's great. Anyway, yeah. So they keep kind of going through the house because they have to get up to their rooms to the imagination turn off machine. And they take a little beat, just kind of. Right, they take a beat. They
they end
go
up
outside.
kind of almost in like a tree house attached to the tree house. Like
Yeah.
it has like tree house vibes. They've got like candy and cookies up there and some juice boxes and
Yeah, there's a little
looks like
taped
just
up
a
photo
cool-
of Rainicorn.
Yeah,
It's just a
so
little
it's
kind of like den
yeah.
type thing.
Well, did you notice what was on the juice boxes?
No, I didn't.
It was Berry Princess.
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
Yeah, I thought that was a neat little Easter egg on there. Yeah.
One thing I noticed in that room, when you get shots of Finn, in the tree behind them and like the trunk is carved AT with a heart around it. And my first thought was, yeah, Adventure Time, right? And I was like,
yeah, probably.
yeah. I mean, because otherwise, I mean, the previous owner of the treehouse would have been Marceline, as previously established and evicted.
Sure.
But I couldn't think of if AT would have stood for anything that wasn't just Adventure Time.
I can't think of any off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's just a little Adventure Time nod, and like,
Yeah.
it's not. It doesn't draw attention to the little carving, but like, I noticed it.
Yeah. Well, in the next episode, there's a little detail included that I picked up on that is blink and you'll miss it.
Oh, I don't think I know which one you're talking about. So.
It's fun. It's a fun little detail that I picked up on.
Yeah.
The joy of rewatching.
Oh yeah, so they walk out and they go back to the bridge. I think they originally they started the episode on, but with all the knife storms, they Finn asked Jake to imagine like a steel umbrella or something to kind of block all the knives, and it does. And so there's now like an invisible roof above them, and you see all the knives kind of collapsing and building up on this invisible roof. So that does kind of play into the question of like, is it real, or are they just both really into his imagination?
Yeah.
Because the knives felt like, yeah.
Was there actually a tiger on the boat? We don't know.
Oh, man, but isn't the story better to imagine it that way?
Yeah.
The old Life of Pi.
Good book.
Do you remember the next thing that Jake imagines?
Jake imagines that, they want to cross the bridge, but they have to pass the Riddle Master. And so their next task is Finn has to answer a riddle to get past the Riddle Master who's blocking the way. Was the Riddle Master voiced by Mark Hamill?
Oh, I don't know. That's a good question. Because it kind of sounds like him.
Sounded exactly like Fear from Ocean of Fear, which was Mark Hamill. I don't think it was, but boy, did it sound like him.
Yeah, I mean, they would have, just record a couple lines real fast, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. I did like the bit.
Go ahead.
Finn is almost like frustrated. Is like, really, Jake? You keep picturing these obstacles. Can we not just walk right through? And he's like, really, Jake? An imaginary riddle master? And Jake does this sort of like, oops. And it's like a little giggle he does. It's like, it's something like that.
I like the riddle that Jake comes up with, which is he couldn't imagine one. Because remember, the Riddle Master is a figment of his imagination, but Jake doesn't actually know any riddles.
He couldn't think of a good riddle, so they're just kind of stuck there. And I think they just throw an explosive at him.
Whatever. So Finn does make it by, and he gets into his some storage up in their bedroom area, and he takes a real life missile, almost like a mini nuke, like you would see in Fallout, and throws it and blows up the Riddle Master. I actually had a note about that. Finn has a real life nuclear warhead, which I don't want to spoil too much of the show, but the history of Ooh feels very important that he has a very, very real deal nuclear warhead.
Oh yeah, I mean, one of the big theories of Ooh being a post-apocalyptic Earth.
I wouldn't even. Well, I mean, Earth, yeah, but I don't even think it's a theory. I mean, it's pretty much confirmed that it's post-apocalyptic.
Yeah. There's a lot of details that. Yeah, I mean, it's not directly confirmed, but there's a lot of details that suggest that Ooh is post-apocalypse.
Oh, the mushroom war.
Nuclear apocalypse specifically.
The mushroom war. Can't forget it.
Mushroom war. Anyway, yeah, I think this episode, they go through the next room and Jake is just shouting all sorts of threats at him and just Finn, snap his neck. And I made a note that this episode can be kind of extra violent, Finn snapping people's necks because it's not real. You can't see any of it, so they can just describe it, and I think they can get away with a little bit extra violence because it's not, you don't see it.
I like at one point there's an imagination like goblin, and he's aiming a bazooka at them.
Yeah.
Which feels all of this. You don't see any of this, but for me, like I really could picture it, like it was there because the sound was done really well. But he's off in the corner about to fire a bazooka, and it's like, don't shoot us with that bazooka. Don't you do it. Don't do it, man.
Do it, man.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good one.
They
just
advertise
a
that
little
a lot.
de-escalation tactic. Yeah, that
Yeah.
clip was a familiar one.
Yeah.
So they make it up to the room, and just as Jake had previously described, there weren't any real threats except that it was just a bunch of cute girls and hamsters.
Yeah, Jake starts raising up all the girls too. He gets like his deep, what you laughing at?
Dang, girl, if you weren't a figure of my imagination, I'd want to have your baby. So
he's hanging out with a few.
they make it to the machine. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying, no, I think Finn does have to fight something, and it's another like monster. But this one's Jake is imagining an invisible monster, so now Jake can't see it either. It's the final boss is an invisible monster.
Yeah, because you get in the episode, you get one little glimpse of the world through Jake's eyes, and that's when they just originally do the floor is lava. But then for the rest of the episode, you don't see it. You see it more from Finn's perspective, where everything's invisible. Jake has to just describe everything. Yeah, but so this one, Jake pictured an invisible monster, so he has no idea how to help Finn. He just kind of uses his overpowered, ability to stretch and wrap his body around it, and while Finn searches for the invisible imagination turn-off machine for the lever on that thing.
He does go and turn it off eventually. He struggles to find the lever, but he finally finds the lever and he pulls it, and it turns off Jake's imagination, right? Mm-hmm. And then I get a little fuzzy about what happens next.
Jake gets really, really boring because he has no imagination. His voice becomes very flat and one note. He picks up his viola and just plays a single note.
Like the Tenacious D song.
Yeah, it's a one note thing. He's just
one note glory from Rent.
Yeah. And it's like one note is all that is needed. And that kind of makes Finn realize that, like, oh man, you're really lame without your imagination. Huh. I remember how I had once said imagination was dumb because of reality, but now he realized that it's part of what makes Jake's personality so cool. So Finn has to go inside his own imagination to... Oh, wait, but they couldn't find the imagination turn-off machine to turn Jake's imagination back on because Jake was the one who imagined it. And with no imagination, he can't picture it. So Finn has to imagine one.
Yeah, that's right. Finn has to use his own imagination. And in his, it's like an empty void of nothingness. And he has to struggle to think of something. And so he finally comes up with the machine. But then a couple other like little dudes.
There's like a little bard. He's got a lute, and it's his little imagination man. He just does a little dance. Just one of those like little side characters that Adventure Time does such a good job with, of just a little guy.
Sings a little song. Welcome to Imagination Land. I am your imagination man. But he keeps like rhyming things with man and like, half rhyming, slant rhyming, man, land, all kinds of stuff.
The Bellamy bug. It's a fancy little bug who offers Finn a doily, a crochet
doily. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a crochet doily infused with his daughter's tears, I think. It's civilized.
It's very civilized and very proper, and I think the one bug guy even calls it out. It's Finn's repressed desire to be more civilized.
Yeah.
And that's how his imagination comes out. It's very weird to describe, but it's very like lighthearted, civilized, but very like, oh, hello type of.
Yeah, it's I made a note of this, especially with this, like, oh, maybe it's your repressed desire to be civilized. It's like this kind of picturing and kind of, I guess, imagining what like the subconscious would be like. Not to get too into Freud or anything, but like,
yeah, not again.
you know, if he's within his own mind, in his own imagination, is he choosing to imagine these things, or are these things just kind of coming up within him? And like, they're thoughts that he has but doesn't ever verbalize or kind of put out. But now that he's within his own mind, he's imagining it.
Mm-hmm. Makes, you know, begs the question. He also has a lot of penguins in his imagination. Penguins are funny. Like, and he even goes, penguins. So I like that.
Yeah, so, I mean, the end happens, like in a lot of episodes, pretty fast. So they imagine,
yeah, that's exactly what they imagine. You're right.
Yeah. Finn imagines the machine that will turn Jake's imagination back on, so he goes and he does that, and he gets past or like he imagines Bellamy Bug, his little dandy civilized bug repressed thought. He imagines it with like a big robot arm and a big like tiger arm, and it's beating itself up.
I think it was a squid arm.
A squid arm, yeah, it's like a big tentacle. And so that's, he's beating up his own repressed thoughts. I guess further repressing it, you know, beating it back and down and in all sorts of directions.
Shut up. Yeah, really, really repressive thoughts there. But at the end of the day, Finn uses his imagination to save the day. And so I guess the moral of the story is don't go outside and just stay inside forever.
I think that's a good lesson we could learn is, just be inside all the time. We tried that for like a year. Remember that when we couldn't leave our house?
Boy, do I. All I did was watch Adventure Time.
Yeah, I was watching a lot of movies back then. A lot of video games. It got a little old. I remember.
Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Pepperidge Farm remembers.
I was thinking this is kind of the plot of the Lego movie in a way, like this episode.
In what way?
I think like the importance of imagination, and then we see when Jake's stripped of imagination, not using free will. It's very, very loosely in a way, but the moral of it is using your imagination and your creativity for good, and not feeling it like you need to be boring and fit it into a box. Because we see that with Jake at the very end is without his imagination, he's dull and boring, but imagination is power.
And also
so not
Will
really
Ferrell
like the Lego
there.
movie, but very similar, like moral in a way.
Yeah, I can see that. I think the lesson of your imagination is good, lean into that, is a good one.
Definitely.
I mean, I just think this is a fantastic episode.
Yeah.
I don't know. We're kind of through. Do you have any closing thoughts?
I had a couple when we were talking about games we used to imagine. I totally forgot that we would play imaginary Gaga Ball, or was we called it Gaga Ball without the ball. Yeah. We'd like fake hit it and jump over it. And we'd also do imaginary. I've got this game called Pigmania, which are these two plastic pigs that you roll, and based on how they land, you get points for it. And so it's basically just like rolling dice, but the dice are plastic pigs. Also called Pass the Pig, but we play imaginary Pigmania when we're bored, and so we'll just be sitting in a restaurant fake rolling dice, but we'll be like honest with ourselves and not just give ourselves good scores all the time. We like imagine within a set like within a box. We're literally limiting our imagination. But I always think that's pretty fun.
I remember in college I went to one of my friends' like department commencement things, whatever, because each department within the school gets like its own little mini graduation. Although actually the psych department got in trouble because they kept wanting all their students to do like full cap and gown for the department commencement, and like the school itself was like, no, the cap and gown was reserved for like the whole commencement, not just the psych department. But anyway, they had like a keynote speaker and everything. And this person's main interest was in like the psychology behind like play and imagination, specifically like child psychology. And I remember it was like a good idea. It was a terrible speech because she just kind of kept repeating herself. If I had to hear her say the power of play one more time, I was gonna. But anyway, like it's a valid thing. Yeah. It's a valid thing about like the importance of like imagination and just like playing and like being creative. It's good stuff. Don't suppress a child's creativity. That's how you end up with I don't have a joke. I don't know.
I was gonna say, when you suppress your creativity, you become an accountant.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
let me tell you, I do some creative accounting, which is the creative word for fraud. It's a little accounting joke for you.
Yeah, well, I was gonna be like, oh, I'm the creative one. I'm a professional video editor, but I edit the news, and it's not very creative. It's a lot of copy paste. It's a lot of show exactly what they say.
I gotta come up with creative ways of telling a staff that they're not very good at their job to their face.
We have some areas that need improvement.
I call this a turd sandwich. Yeah, we're gonna mix the bad thing, but you did order a pound of it. It's like the roast beef sandwich from Arby's. You ordered a large, let me tell you.
Yeah,
and we're out of bread
roast
today.
Beef sandwich is a lot of roast beef.
Let me tell you, it's a meat lover's paradise on your shit sandwich.
We're like a poop lovers. People who love poop.
Dude, literally me.
Dude, I love shit. I just love shit. Poop and shit and crap and feces.
Poop, shit, fart. Poop, fart, titty, dick.
Fart, titty, dick.
Seeing that in front of a bunch of children, it's like, what does poop to stand for? And they make eye contact with you, and we burst out laughing.
Poop, fart, titty, dick. Okay, we need to wrap this one up.
Zach will like that one.
I'm sitting here saying poop the whole time. All right, closing thoughts. One word. We're gonna suppress creativity. One word. Describe this episode.
Poop.
Okay, good one. My word is imaginative.
That's uncreative.
It's arguably the least imaginative. Green is not a creative color. All right. Adventure Twins.